Afternoon students. Today we learn about the new chapter, 14th chapter, open source concepts. Okay, so the first of all, what is open source? We have to study it. What is open source? Making the source code of the software freely available for users or other developers to use from the internet. Okay, so it is free of cost. The source code of software will be free of cost. And then open source software. What is open source software? It is usually created and updated by many programmers around the world and made freely accessible. So what is open source software? Usually it is created and updated by many programmers around the world and made freely accessible. Okay, so what is a proprietary software? We already know the difference between open source software and proprietary software. Okay, so what is proprietary software? It is owned by an organization or individual. Okay, so the makers of these in proprietary software, the makers of this software have not allowed the users or other developers to view or edit the source code. So இதில் வந்து programmers வந்து என்ன பண்ண முடியாது, யூசரோ இல்லை அது ஏதோ டெவலப்பர்ஸோ we cannot view or edit the source code. Okay, and then main advantage of this is it gives more control, support and training and security, more security in proprietary software. In detail, the last topic we have to see later. Okay, the difference between open source software and proprietary software. Okay, in the last topic we will see. So the next we studied for open source software. So many developments are here. Okay, so that one development is called NRCFOSS. What is NRCFOSS? National Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software. National Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software. It is an institution of Government of India. So what is the use of this institution? To help in development of free open source software. Okay, so for that only this institution will be developed. So what is NRCFOSS? National Resource Center for Free and Open Source Software. It is an institution of Government of India. What is the use of it? It is used to help in development of free and open source software. Okay, in India. And the next topic is the organizations related to this open source. What are the organizations related to open source? Apache Software Foundation, the Document Foundation, the Eclipse Foundation, Free Software Foundation, Linux Foundation, and then Open Courseware Consortium, Open Source Initiative. So these are the organizations related to open source. This is one of the short answer also. So what are the organizations related to open source? Apache Software Foundation, the Document Foundation, the Eclipse Foundation, Free Software Foundation, Linux Foundation, Open Courseware Consortium, Open Source Initiative. Okay, so these are the organizations related to open source. So next also we have to study about one development or same organizations, BOSS. We already know BOSS. What is BOSS? BOSS means Bharat Operating System Solution. Bharat Operating System Solutions. What is the use of it? It is an operating system developed in India by CDAC. What is CDAC? Center for Development of Advanced Computing. Okay, so it is an operating system developed in India by CDAC. CDAC means Center for Development of Advanced Computing. So it helps to prompt the use of open source software in India. So it supports many Indian languages also. Okay, so that is BOSS. It is one of the 2 mark question. So what is the BOSS? BOSS? Bharat Operating System Solutions. Okay, and the next topic is types of open source license. So many open source license are there. So some types are here. It is very important long answer. First one, Apache License 2.0. Apache License 2.0. And then second one, BSD third class la new and revised license. New or revised license. So what is BSD? Here BSD means one company name, Berkeley Source Distribution. Berkeley Source Distribution. Okay, and then BSD 3 class new or revised license, and then BSD 2 class simplified or free BSD license, and the next one GNU General Public License. How we know what is the abbreviation for GNU? There is no abbreviation for GNU, but it is GNU's not Unix. GNU's not Unix. That is the abbreviation for GNU. The GNU General Public License, and then GNU Library or Leisure General Public License, that is LGPL. GNU LGPL. And then MIT license. MIT means MIT also one of the institution of technology, that is Massachusetts Institution of Technology license. It is one of the computer, it is an institution. Okay, so next one Mozilla Public License 2.0, and then Common Development and Distribution License. The last one Eclipse Public License. So what are the licenses are there? Apache License 2.0, BSD 3 class new or revised license, BSD 2 class simplified or free BSD license, GNU GPL General Public License, GNU Library or Leisure General Public License, LGPL. Okay, and then MIT license, Mozilla Public License 2.0, Common Development and Distribution License, and the last one Eclipse Public License. Okay, and the next topic is open source software versus free software. So what is free software? What is free software? It is free software is an ability to download and modify the software without restriction or charge. So free software na எப்பவுமே நம்ம ஒரு டவுன்லோட் பண்ணி அந்த சாஃப்ட்வேரை நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிக்கலாம், மாடிஃபை பண்ணிக்கலாம் without any restriction or charge. That is free software. So this concept is developed. இந்த ஃப்ரீ சாஃப்ட்வேர் எப்போ டெவலப் ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா இந்த 1980s மிட் கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் ரிசர்ச்சர் ரிச்சர்ட் ஸ்டால்மன் அப்படின்றவர் தான் என்ன பண்ணியிருக்காரு, 1980s நமக்கு ஃப்ரீ சாஃப்ட்வேர் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ இட் ஹாஸ் அ 4 freedoms. Okay, so what are the 4 freedoms he has to do? To run the program as you wish for any purpose. 4 freedom கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. என்னென்ன? To run the program as you wish for any purpose, to study how the program works and change it. So it does not, it does your computing as you wish. So first வந்து என்ன பார்த்தோம், run the program as you wish. ரெண்டாவது computing the program as you wish. Okay, study how the program, எப்படி ப்ரோக்ராம் ஒர்க் ஆகுதுன்னு படித்து அதை கம்ப்யூட் பண்ணுறது எப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம். And then to redistribute copies, so you can help your neighbors also. And the 4th freedom is to distribute copies of your modified versions to others. But in our book these 4 freedoms are not given, but you know this. Okay, what are the 4 freedoms? To run the program as you wish, and then to study how the program works and change it, so that is computing as you wish, and then to redistribute copies so you can help your neighbors, and the last freedom to distribute copies of your modified version to others. Okay, so next we study about what is freeware. What is freeware? Freeware refers to, that is a proprietary software. Proprietary software means that users can download at no cost, but this is a proprietary software even though it is download no cost, but source code cannot be changed. Source code cannot be changed. Okay, and the next topic is open source software and developers. Open source software and developers. So here open source software projects are collaboration opportunities that improve skills and build connections in the field. So domains that developers can contribute to the open source community include, what are they include? Communication tools, distributed revision control system, bug trackers and task lists, and the last one testing and debugging tools. So open source software developers use பண்ற மெயினா domains that developers can contribute to the open source community include communication tools, distributed revision control system, bug trackers and task list, and testing and debugging tools. Okay, so now we study about what is the difference between open source software and proprietary software. Okay, this is the first topic. It is one of the important long answer also. So what is open source software? First we see the open source software. It is developed and tested through open collaboration. Open source software it is developed and tested through open collaboration. But in proprietary software, it is owned by the individual or an organization. Okay. The second point is anyone with the academic knowledge can access, inspect, modify and redistribute the source code. So யார்னாலும் எல்லாம் அந்த இதை பற்றி தெரிஞ்சிருக்கோங்க, கம்ப்யூட்டர் பற்றி தெரிஞ்சிருக்கோங்க, access பண்ணிக்கலாம், inspect, modify and redistribute the source code. But in proprietary software, only the owner or publisher who holds the legal property rights of the source code can access it. Okay. And the third point, in open source software, the project is managed by an open source community of developers and programmers. But in proprietary software, the project is managed by closed group of individuals or a team that developed it. அவங்க எல்லாருமே சேர்ந்து தான் செய்வாங்க. இது வந்து தனித்தனியாக தான் இருப்பாங்க. Okay. And then the fourth point, they are not aimed at unskilled user outside of the programming community. But here in proprietary software, they are focused on a limited market of both skilled and unskilled end users. Okay. And then fifth point, it provides better flexibility, which means more freedom, which encourages the innovation. But in proprietary software, there is a very little scope of innovation with the restrictions and all. So for example, open source software, Android, Firefox, etc. But in proprietary software, Windows, Mac OS. Okay. So today topic is over. So thank you students.